Testing? Yeah. I'll try all that again. Sorry about that. Sometimes you have technical issues and I just have to unplug and plug it back in. I guess everything I was saying was not heard. But we'll just quickly go over that. Hi, Mum. Welcome to my stream. And continue on our very important Soulection Tracklists work. It happens. As always, everyone jump into the chat and say hi. It'd be awesome to see what you're up to. Ask me any questions along the way. I'll try and help and explain things. But we're going to be working on mostly Nuxt.js today and Cypress. So let's just jump right into it. Press this button and screen. Awesome. We got our current application in its state. I've got it booted up. It's running. And the things I want to deal with today, well, I've got a big track list which I'm working on. Well, to-do list. Some track list, to-do, same thing. And I kind of wanted to get what we were working on last week completed. We were doing some refactors and I was going down a very weird path, and I had a little bit of a think this week to refactor the refactor. Break it down into smaller components. So we had a big component which was trying to do too much. So I'm going to start splitting that into smaller sections, which should hopefully free up the mind a bit. So yeah, the tracklist component is one on that list. So we're going to jump right into that area. I want to show you, like, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to get this page working right. I need to put on the localhost version 3000. I'm going to open up that. And that's where we're at the moment. We want to bring back in this track list. At the moment, this is the kind of staging version of it. I want to make sure that these track lists are in place, and it's using a component that can handle the code there instead of being a big mess. So that's what we're going to fix today. So we'll jump over our code. Going to jump into pages and slug, because the slug is what brings up this 482. And you'll notice this whole top piece here, which we've got going on here, this has now been refactored into episode hero. And I'm going to start making track lists, like a component down here for that, to handle that. So it's kind of split out. I don't need to deal with a great deal of code. We're still, the volumes look okay. Yeah, we're good. So I'm going to create a new component in here. Episode track lists. I'll stick with that for now. Episode track lists. I think I've got to go with a singular. And we're using HTML, so we're going to just render out a block, and just to make sure that we're wired up properly, we're going to go hello world in here, and then we should be able to bring that import into our project. So import statement, and it's episode tracklist from the we have this helper tag, so it's at components episode, because we're namespacing it, and because it doesn't take up the namespace with episode tracklist, and we're going to bring that into the component list, and now we should be able to use that right here. We should see a hello world ping up onto our page after it's loaded. There we go. We got our hello world. I'm going to bring up this panel, because sometimes, actually, you can see it underneath my face, just right underneath there. It has a little counter to 100% when it recompiles a page each time it saves. So we want to send in the document, and because the document is asynchronous on this refactor I did earlier, I had to do an if, because sometimes this document is null for a second before it's loaded in. So I might do the same, or I might kind of bring this if block to this outer class, and I'll pass this document into the page. The document is the episode. So all that data which we see from previous episodes. If you're new here, this is what episode is. It's just a YAML document. Let's bring up YAML editor. And we have an array of sessions. Mostly it's just one session, but if there's multiple DJs who performed on that show, there'll be 2 sessions. And within sessions, we have tracks which have been played, and the cue points are when those tracks were played, and the references to the file of that track. not the audio file, but just the metadata for that, which I have separate outside the episode in case there's duplicates. So that's how we formulate all this data. So yeah, I need to go through and pass that data in, and then I can start processing that. And with this track list, I'll now have I can do a script, JavaScript. And I should have props. I've been using this composition API, and I like it. It's taken a little bit of time to get used to it, but I think it is definitely the way forward. It's got a good feel to it. You're being explicit to your things, and it has forced me to learn a new part of this code, and the reason why I'm mostly learning this composition API is because it's closer to React hooks, and I know a lot of companies and projects, open source projects and stuff, are using React hooks, and I want to kind of like keep up to date with that while staying in the comfortability of Vue.js and Nuxt.js of my personal preference likes. So yeah, I'm continuing to use that and utilize how that's set up, and it might have slight differences, but it's not a million miles away. What I'm doing here is I'm setting up props on the component. So you know how we just passed in on this slug here, this document. If we go up to our other component, our hero, you'll notice we need to define this prop, so we'll just kind of copy that, and I'll explain what we do here. So props are defined things which we are going to property of data which we're going to send in, and we're setting the document like here. It's saying document property is going to be a type of object, and yes, we're going to require this to be in place, otherwise we won't understand what to do. But as a fallback, we're going to deal with a empty object, because it is an object. It's got quite a few other things on there, but it's mostly an object. And those props are available on that. So you'll see I've got available there. And just to kind of clean those props up, I'm going to set the props document to page. Just because it's shorter than writing document. I could write doc if I wanted. I might do that. But it was probably from a previous version of the code, and I just kind of kept with it. And to give that to the page, we need to, this setup action is all the functions and bits of code, computational code, which we will use in our Vue template. So we just need to kind of set things up, define them, and then we can return them, make them available to the page. So now that we have our document, we should be able to render out page.title in our track list, go over to our browser, and we've got an error. Unexpected. Oh yeah, let me see, import. Yeah, there we go. So we're going to allow this page to rebuild itself, and we can see now we've got our title added into the page. But we're not going to be dealing with the title there. We've left it to a different component to handle that. My washing machine's going off in the background. I don't know if you can hear that. But hopefully it's quiet enough. I think the music level's alright as well. Maybe a bit too quiet. Yeah, a little bit more volume. It's quite chill. Yeah, I like that. Cool. So the episode track list, we are going to be dealing with the sessions track list. So we're going to probably maybe split this episode track list into episode session, because we've got the whole track list and we want to break out each section. So yeah, it makes sense to grab each one of those and pass them through. Alternatively, I could have probably gone like document.sessions and just like reduce that down. I'll see how I feel when we come to release that. But I am feeling that we're gonna have a episode session for V4. We're gonna loop around. So it's going to render out this episode session block as many times as there are sessions. So we're going to say session in, I think session in sessions. We'll make that available. Const sessions, and it's going to be a computed. So we've got to bring in the computed from the composition. And this is going to be a function, and we're going to go page dot set for now sessions each one of those, and we can easily see that we've got that loop because we don't need a page. So we can see there's potentially a optimization about our data passing in. And then what we do with this, I think each session has, we don't need to loop that. I think this is done with now, this component. We're passing each session. And of course, it's complaining at us because we don't know what episode session is. So let's define that components and assume that it's there. And we're going to import the session, the component into our page. So from at components episodes folder, and it's going to be episode session. Let's create that file. Boop. View. And give it some template in, and again we'll just give it some text in there. And again we kind of should see this in our page. Complain about hello world because it wants it wrapped around, so let's satisfy that. We'll just div and hello world that, and can't use v4 for stateful components on the root element. Okay, that's no problem. We do want to do some styling on this in a bit. So we just got to wrap it around a div, give it a div, and I think it's still got to complain. Oh yeah, because it wants a key. So the key I guess we'll have the index, unless we created a unique key, and I think that works. There we go. Our hello world for this sessioning. So we'll close that off. And as previous in our previous component we just created, we're going to import our composition API. So we'll just grab this again, and we will import. We'll open the brackets, and we'll define that component too. Bring that in, and we want to wrap our component with that. Set it up, of course. And what we want to return in this is the session. So we've passed in a property, not yet we haven't. So we're expecting props to have a session. So const session equals props session. We're just plucking that out, and of course we need to props define, allow that to come through. So individual session is going to be a type of object. It's going to be required by default, true, and it's going to have a default of object because we need to set that. And I got a typo there. Just save it and it fixes itself. And it's complaining about this because I think duplicate key. Maybe I can get away with just doing like that and not have to set it. That's interesting. Is it because is props automatically defined as available on our thing? Let's give it a try. Session. We need to jump back to our playlist and pass in session. Like that. I guess we didn't need to do much work about that. It's automatically available on us, so that's much easier. And then each one of these we can do session.name, that's a start, which is Joe K's session. Boom, yeah. And then start wrapping it. I think we made quite a few changes, so I'm gonna have to go back to our GitHub, to our history. I keep getting notifications from my watch about the building I'm in has like loads of socials, and we have an application, and everyone at this time says like PS4 for sale. Everyone's all about the PS5 right now. So that's going on my watch. I'll just take it off. I'll probably audibly hear it in a minute going on the desk. So I'm looking for where we started making these changes in our slug and the design which we had. This looks session network. It's looking promising that around that. Unless we've already had it and let's look here. Yeah, this is where we started stripping a lot of things out, and I wanted to just quickly make things easier by grabbing this, which is the session, and that's the episode session, the episode track list. I'm gonna give it our styling, and we also need to grab this block, which is going to give us it's centered in a way. Refresh the page. Not that one. This one. It should have a black, and we've got it centered. Brilliant. And of course, when there's track list, it'll push the content down, and there'll be a footer which we're still yet to create. So we're just repatching in some of this work. This has padding on 4, so we'll give that. And we have our text, which we're gonna go with friends. We're gonna wrap it in a H4. It doesn't matter too much about that for now. I'll do some checking on our SEO checker later on. But that's going to define that, and I think the expected is to have artwork eventually, and I think we do have artwork on some episodes, but I've yet to put that in, so I'm going to just bring that over, because I think it's going to be artwork and then the title, so we'll deal with that in a minute. And what was this? Oh, there's additional content, and we want to display that markdown. and I'll find the episode which we do have that on. I think it's the last year's New Year, the 2020 track lists, and I should be able to Soulection all day. Yeah, this one has additional bits of content. But I'm a little bit lost at what we got to work with. So let's just session and see what comes out with. Make sure you keep hydrated as well. It's I haven't drank a great deal of water, but I've just within the last 30 minutes gone through this whole bottle. So what are you drinking? That's more important. It's just water. I do have non-alcoholic beers from time to time. I quit alcohol a year and 11 months ago. It's nearly been 2 years since I drank alcohol. May have had a sip here or there, but not like a whole beverage or drink to myself. Decided that I don't need it. So here, this is what the content is, which I'm trying to get to render out. And it should do, but it's not. And that's the artwork. So we've got our name here. But that's about it. Should have dealt with that. Session.content. Because it's markdown which we want to render. It's not getting into this block for some reason. Let's have a look at the Nuxt content. Nuxt. It's content.nuxt.js. So there's a way to display it, and I just want to check that we're right. It might need to be in a certain form. It's object required. Yeah, it might be asking for body and things. If in doubt, look at the actual content repository and see how that template deals with. So it's going to be the Nuxt content.js component, and we're passing a property. So there's our prop, and it's going to our drawers, finding things. Here we go. Was it expected to be? Just required. Specs a body or fails. So if we do body like this, give it some spaces. This is the page which we want it to render. Did we get it? Nope. I'm absolutely sure that we've gone. Hello. Well, we just put. We'll just kind of wrap it with some content, so we should see it in place. Hello, silent listener, watcher. How you doing? I'll see you. Oh, on Facebook. You know, you can use Facebook. There's the messages on the side, and say hi. Right, so. It's not working, but we are getting into this block. So this if block we're getting in there, but this document is going, nope, I don't understand what you're doing. And I need to imitate what this is. So it's expecting, if there's no body, then return. If no body, children, then return. And I guess we might need to do some special magic. So let's continue our search for fixing that. We might need to send it through the markdown parser. That's what I thought the page would do. So lib, let's see. I don't think it's query builder. The query builder does build up the query and then goes to the database and then gets that back. And what we've got back is a partial of something, but it's not been processed. So front matter, nope. Markdown, parse. No, it's just the JSON content. Nope. Database maybe. Content. Parser. We've got a parsers going on. Extend parsers. And I need to figure out how it's understanding what to parse. Oh wait, here we go. Parse file. Normalize path. Ooh. Body. What's this item? Item got clear. So what we're wanting it to do is grab like this, the markdown. Let's jump to that all day. This content here. Grab this markdown, interpret the markdown, and then spit us out the HTML for it. And this Nuxt content is not doing exactly that. So displaying content, is there any other helper for that? Otherwise I might need to just, I don't want to write a unique parser for that. I kind of want to send it through the same system which we kind of got. Just a subset. Might be the case. It's doable though. I just need to redo what this kind of work here might be doing. It's just rendering that tree into. Ugh, don't want to. Can you do it for me? Ah. What am I doing? Shall I do it? Shall I skip it for now? I might pauses. Maybe let's I'm gonna give it to. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go over to my thingo and then just press this and it says started, but I said kind of started at 10 past. Yeah. I'll give it another 2 minutes to figure out if it's possible, and if not, I'll save it for later. That's why I'm just a little bit quiet and just quickly concentrating seeing if generate body, that might be it. Cool, I'm gonna give that a try. So we're in here. We need to bring in that parser. So import markdown from whatever this file is. Can I copy it from here maybe? Let's try Nuxt.js content, or Nuxt content, is it? Yep. Parsers, yeah. Markdown, get in there. I think that, jump into the parsers, and the index file for this. We just create a const body from the this is going to be new markdown. Body generate body from the session content, which is going to be prop session content. Like that. Oh, this is going to be markdown, and we just bring that into here, markdown, and we've got a const body like that. Or content, because that's what we named it. I'm going to return content. So then I'm going to pass it into here. Please don't explode, please don't explode. I'm hoping that's how it is used. Yeah, it's using remark. We pass the content in, which we've passed it in. So a string, which is the JSON ATS generated from markdown. Okay. Generates a body. Might need to find out how to get this JSON ATS. Yeah, it didn't do what we expected it to. Don't like this track. That's looking, returns flattened text node and returns that. And that's in the type definitions. I'm curious now. I want to see in our page, because that's how we're testing it for now, what content is. I assume it's just going to be a whole. It's a promise. Ah. So we need to bring in a fetcher, I think, or use async, and we'll allow it to process that. Sync will do that. To bring that in on the composition, so use async and await. I think we need to const and split this out. So that wait content equals that, and then return, save. Oh, something happened, or it didn't happen because it didn't render that. What did we get? Let's see, console. We're doing the console log. I want it because we're in territory which isn't very well documented, but it might help if I figure out this. I might be able to put up a pull request to the creators of Nuxt content. So open up these options type, not iterable. Let's see why. Options type. Probably expecting options to go on in. So how is we might need to pass in those remarks, but I want to see if there's an easier way to do this. It'd be nice if there's like a real simple, just use this function and it works. Process options, resolver. This is software engineering, debugging things and trying to figure out how it works together to make it work together. Ta-da! And it just sometimes sends you down a really wild path. I'm going to give it another 2 minutes. And then I'll forfeit this section and I'll do it on a different time. Just seeing if there's anything that just sticks out like that. Get options. Seems a bit promising. Where's this get options come from? This is from Nuxt lib itself, so import get options from Nuxt content lib, and that should bring us back the options. Is it a function? Yes. So I'm going to const out this so I can print it into the terminal. Options equals that, and then I'm going to pass it in. It might be a bit too much in there, the amount of options. You are defined. Need to close off this whole section. Just trying to do it, and it's of course it's going to break each of time. Close. I might be able to pass in those options by doing this mark down. If we generate the body and some content, fingers crossed, guys, this might be the one. Close, but no cookie. Failed. This particular error plagued me so hard, and I don't know where to start with that particular error. It doesn't give me any clue where it's coming from, that error. Something to do with loading the content. But we've got our children, so we've got the content for the markdown. It's just now you can see it in the background there, and here the page just really hates life. Each and every time it's just like, nah, not gonna handle it. Maybe if we just pass in instead of display it. Probably a binary option on the page. Oh. Is it down to that? Nope. When this happens, I don't want to update. Sometimes just restart the server and it fixes. If you dig into it, it's like FS events, it goes into this, and then Shiraki Daira, and then it's going into content database to try and fetch something, but it's probably saying that it's not there. But I don't want it to go in a database on this occasion. That's probably why it's on a bad time. Oh, right! Remember, we need to pass in body to the component. It's still complaining because it's probably going to try. I think if we switch, it's not even switched off. If we switch it off for a second, what all this is about, and content console log the page, there's additional bits to that page. It might give us a helping clue what we need to pass into the component. Like directory and path, and it's probably trying to read those. Let's have a look. It was content, templates, this path, DB. It should be fine. It's just going splat. What's this process node? Is it in this off? Yeah, each of those nodes, it's building out this. I don't want to redo this whole component if I can get away with it. Document props, body children. Data class. Oh yeah, secondary props, and then data props. That should be fine. It might be a different section which it's blowing up at. Because this is what we want it to look like, right? And we've got content here and it just needs pausing to make it go like that. And that's what we've managed to successfully do here. It's going, no, I don't really like that. and failing out. Maybe it's within that generate body, but where have I gone? I lost myself. Here. Get rid of that. It seems that it's just, I hate this particular error where it's some binary has gone into the page and it doesn't know how to deal with it. Basically, that is all we need to get that booted. Can't resolve worker threads. Close it off and go to site data. Restart the page. Oh, that's interesting. Two names are resolved into the same name. Oh, I was doing something. I'll rename this to old. I'll delete that in a minute. Please work. Fingers crossed. No, it didn't work. Friendly errors? That is definitely not friendly. You may be have an inappropriate loader for this file type, or no loaders can process this file. Source omitted for binary file. Bubble loader. Load options. TypeScript lang for script. Get into session. Track list. So it's definitely to do with Nuxt content, but let's see on this. Back into the package, content. We did the lib. I think it's index generate or parse. What did we do? Maybe if I npm or remove the Nuxt directory, which it kind of pre-generates itself, and give it another try. Maybe it's got something corrupt in that folder. The generate body. I hope it's not like trying to reach out to the database on a generate body. Compile. No? Not really. Is unified I think can translate it to binary, but it shouldn't do. Definitely still an issue. And it should be in the session. Okay. So we need to start plucking out the code again and see where things go back to normal, I guess. Saving that. So that's back to normal. If we import the options, unless there's an easier way for us to get those options. Throat's been a bit weird today. Bit gnarly. Should be fine though. It's probably our only way in. But it might be it's trying to do maybe some database stuff in here. It shouldn't instantiate itself, should it? That's where our issue is though. Definitely 100% in this option. So maybe we go one level in and process options in our utils. Let's have a look, see where what it does with that. It goes into utils and grabs them. It's not safe to load this file. This file does something with binary, and it I don't like it. But if I go and get these defaults and replicate this function, we might be in a better state. So we'll just do a kind of replicate that, and the get defaults, we'll bring that over here like that. Function. Oh, I can just define it as a get options like that. I guess I'll just get the defaults without passing in this not production. Defu? What's the defu? Okay, I don't know what that. I'll look into what that is in a second. I'll just copy across all this, and we need to. Seems it's already in the project from Nuxt content. We should be able to bring in defu from defu. But let's go and understand what defu is. npm defu. Recursively assign default properties, lightweight and fast. Oh, so it merges them together. What? Really? This custom merger. Is this needed? This doesn't look like it's really needed. Array function. Maybe there's some additional functions to this, but I guess that you could have just easily gone with. I don't need. Oh, don't need it anyway because we're not passing default options, so we will pass in defaults. To stop change those ones, I'll object.assign. I'll just create a brand new. I don't need defu then. That was what I was thinking. I was thinking like you don't need it. You just can do that. We'll create a new object and it will get anything from that object and throw it into here. Should be fine, unless it's nested. Options is assigned as a value but never used. Let's just check. Well, we've not got a binary issue anymore. And all we want is this markdown. So we might have fixed our little tiny issue. And we want to import markdown again. Ooh, oh, so close, so close. It feels like it's almost there. Let's just enable this and please. Fingers crossed, everyone. Did it do the thing? It did the thing! I didn't even notice it did the thing. It's the thing. It did. So we've paused the content and rendered it out, so it's got markdown links in there, and it looks fine. Let's get rid of this. I'm super happy now. That's nailed it. Yeah, so you can see, listen to this, Apple Music, and there's a link to the Apple Music, or a Joe K's SoundCloud, Joe K's SoundCloud link, and it's not working. It was for a second. There it is. I think the hot module reloader doesn't like it. And you can see, listen to this on Apple and okay, not exactly. It should be. It's doing something with that content and bringing it back the same for each session. Which is not expected. And yeah, that looks... Almost, we got there. We got one part of it, and now we've managed to introduce bugs. Alright, and let's understand middleware pauses. Markdown. I guess it's gonna be in here. Process plugins for. But I don't wanna. I want it to do a very simple job. Because going into here and then going, hey, I'm going to try and load in each of those pauses. We got there. Almost. Yeah, it's trying to find these and it's going, nope. Is it because it's in the it's in the browser side, and I want it. That needs to happen on the server side. So, Nuxt composition API. There should be one of these, which we're using the async one-offs for you provide unless you provide a unique key. So it's probably reusing that. While this fetch, so essentially. Must be called synchronicity and setup. Any changes made to content, project return setup, and will be sent to the client directly loaded. Other side effects of use fetch are not persisted. So that's an option. Use static, maybe. It might be more this use fetch. So let's change our async to use fetch. And I need to put a reference, don't I? So const content equals ref. That's going to be that. Let's put the ref. We need to output our fetch here and fetch state. Let's give it that. Content.value equals whatever the value of that is. Let's go with body. We can get rid of that because it just calls it, and then our content will be that. We need to call fetch like this, and we'll hold off that state for now. Don't even use it. Not the right page. Maybe the right page. Refresh a page. Give us success, please. Nope. It did not do the thing. Completely broke it, actually. Nearly. Unless it's server-side ref. We'll automatically add this to Nuxt window on server-side ref and change the value. It will not be used outside the components. Yeah, so that's... let's find out more information. Got Jazz. Oh, server-side promise. That might be along the lines what we need. A number of helpers use a key to pass it on JSON encoded information from the server to the client. Currently these. In order to make it possible under the hood, you need to add a key base number to your code. My washing's done. It's jingles. So like that. That's the key there. But the server-side promise, do this, promise, form out. Runs a promise on the server and serializes results as a result of promise from the client. It needs to be run within setup. For example, you can't return a promise on template. Maybe. I might be able to get away with the async and then pass in a key. And I don't need to do too much with that, so return. This will be the body. What key shall we use? I don't know what key to use. It needs to be unique enough, otherwise it's going to override itself. So var, this is outside of itself. Let counter equals 0, and then each setup after we've done some work, counter plus plus. That could be one way. Let's get rid of that. I'm hoping that works. Ref is defined but never used. Let's just disable that for a second. Why am I working all the way over here? I can just close off some of these. There we go. How dare you? Must provide a key. You can have it automatically generated by using the Babel plugins. Not ideal. Let's give this where have we gone? Server side. This one, it's got no logo. That's why I was confused. Server side promise. Server side ref. Server side promise. Let's give this a try. I've not tried this one before. Let's just follow the white rabbit promise and the result promise. Let's throw, and we did the ref, didn't we? So ref that. Oh, and we need to bring in the before mount. Okay, on before mount. We don't need the counter anymore. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, we don't need that. Before mount, and then once it's before mount, whatever that, which is the body equals the promise. Save. There's a syntax error somewhere. There definitely is a syntax error with the... Oh, yeah. Sync. So we're slowly getting there. I'm pretty sure this... oh. Yeah, the linters are a bit aggressive. Well, I get them. They help a bit. Fingers crossed. Refresh the page. Do we have our content? No, we do not have our content. We don't have our content. That's upsetting. We had it for a very brief moment, but all of this console browser, like the browser's trying to load in remark and stuff. We don't want that. Don't want it to do that. Because it's a bit overshot for that. And okay, I think I've spent enough time messing around with getting that content to display. Oh, thanks for the follow. The Dormanu. Dormammu. Awesome, thanks for following. I'm going to for now, I'm going to revert it back to a previous version of the working code, which was the use async. Buddy. And it was working for a very brief moment. Only when you do an initial page load. I was happy with it working, but it's decided to not work for that. I'm terrible with pronunciations of names, so apologies for that. Doctor Strange movie. I've not watched that. Welcome anyway. Thank you for the follow. Why is that a function? Promise. Const equals. This is gonna be body. We'll return body because sometimes it doesn't like it like that. Very weird sounding. You're probably wondering what the heck am I doing? I'm just trying to live code and get this thing done. I hope you're having a good Wednesday. And thanks for chilling out with me. I have no clue what you're doing, but I like the atmosphere of your stream. I just finished work. Awesome. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, so I'm making a new version of this website. And the current area I'm working on, if I grab this particular episode, is we want this content to display and the artwork. And I'm trying to get a new framework called Nuxt content to render it out as I expect it. And so we're slowly getting there, but all of these bugs are not working for me. I'm just trying to get it to a stop point because I've spent probably about 15 minutes or about an hour on this one little thing, and it's just gone into a very weird bug state. So I'm going to stall that and continue on with some different flows. I think I'll live with that. I'll switch it off for now. Body equals con. I think like that. What's your work, man? It's I assume you understand what code is, and I've had my mum watch these and with like full-on confusion before. Like, what are you doing? just slowly disable some of these to make it. Oh wait, that. That just makes no sense. That looks like it should blow up, but it'll work, wouldn't it? We don't get too many blow-ups there. Cool. So next, to continue on, we want to get these track lists. We want to get that's the core aspect. We've done it before, but we're refactoring it and we're fixing things as we go along. This is how it looks on the live version, and this is a preview version of version 4, and this is my local version. I want to bring in those track lists. So let's start doing that, I guess. We have this. I'm gonna make a block where they'll go, and I kind of guess we'll just do episode track, and I'll just do a close with that, and I'll put in track ref. I think it needs to be capital like that sometimes. Oh, I think it's like that. And session. Oh yeah, this will be ref, and we'll want to loop over this. So before, so the session data has an array in there. If we go back over to our content on the side, yeah, and we switch it to YAML. This is how our content looks, and we were trying to render out this content piece here. We have this section of tracks, which I can't close. We have this section of queue elements, which is like the timings, and we have these references. And I want to pass in the ref and the time code. So ref of refs, I think it is, and I'll do it by index. So we'll put the key index like that, and we also need to pass in the queue mark for that. And this means that we have to go into the refs doesn't exist, of course. Sessions, or the session itself refs, and then session.queue. We need to grab the index of that to find that. So Dormammu. Sorry. JavaScript and promises seems like a mess to me. I'm full stack. We use Laravel and Vanilla JS. We ditched Vue.js 3 months ago. Oh, that's a shame. So I'll read your info from MD file instead of DB. Yeah. It's a shame that you ditched Vue.js. I think loads of industries have decided to kind of jump on this React bandwagon because it's really blown off. But Vue.js is very powerful and allows you to kind of formulate this. I love Vite. If you come across it, Vite.vue, I think it is. This is a good opinionated builder. So you know how you had to do Webpack to get things working. This is just like start this project up, and it's like a packer or roll up. So I recommend looking into this. But I'm using Nuxt, which is a back end and front end. So Nuxt is kind of replacing the Laravel, which you probably all have in place. And yeah, on the project, the previous version of this project was actually built in Hugo. Hugo.io. It's a framework for building websites. It's built on Go as a language. And the content, how you manage that, the same with Jekyll, is everything is in a folder. So like in most places, people would have blogs and these would be posts. And in my case, I have a whole bunch of front matter, which is given the metadata of like the date it was performed, artwork, and then sessions as array. And then below the closing bracket, which is these triple lines here, is a markdown content, which that markdown is then parsed into HTML on the page. So then we result in nice HTML like that. And we're going through that array of sessions to build out each one of these tracks. Nope, not Python. This is all JavaScript land, all of it, 100% JavaScript. Reason why I'm transitioning is there's a particular feature which I'm wanting to kind of have on site, and I've not been able to get it working on my current build without really re-architecting how the front end works. And then I'm in a mid state, so I thought I'd turn to these like server side and front end renderers where it hydrates the page as you go along, and as you navigate through the site, it only brings back certain bits of the content instead of a full page reload. Like this site is fast. It serves a purpose, but the particular feature I want to introduce is clicking this play button and it starts playing the episode, and you can then continue navigating around the site and you can see the player is still there, meaning that it will still continue playing unless you refresh the page. And I think that's a very interesting feature, so people can still kind of use the site and skip to certain parts and still listen to the content in the background. And it's all done on SoundCloud. That's why they re-architecture. Oh, Hugo. Hugo is in Go. It's not Python. I've not come across one which is built in Python. Django's Python, but that's more of a framework like Ruby on Rails or Laravel. But where were we? We were doing a track. Were we? We were asking to bring in a track. Yeah, here. And it's just like, I don't understand what a track is because obviously we've not defined it. So let's create that. HTML and hello, I'm a track. We need to wrap it in a div, and now we need to import episode track from we've got to go into our roots, components, episode track, and using view free, we're using like the composition API. So it's slightly different than the options API, a little tiny bit different. It feels a little bit optionsy, but it's a set block, which is massive change, and it's really challenged me to refactor my code in a better way. You're still complaining. Why are you complaining? Oh, right. Does it require that? Let's have a look back at my code, which I ripped out. Yeah, I've got this double, so I need to wrap this. It's not compulsory in Vue 3, but Nuxt, I think, is using Vue 2 still, or a hybrid of it. So we need to wrap our thing around that. And it will stop complaining about that. We're building to 100%. Hello, I'm a track. Hey, yes. This is a side project. I don't get paid for this. Actually, this side project has supported itself because the people who use like this site, the community, because I go through the site and I find all this track data, they donate. And over time, since I've put the site up, contributions over $800 since 2016. And I calculated it costs about $200 a year for maintenance of like the domains and the security of the servers and the servers themselves and services I need to subscribe to for the API services. But yeah, that's awesome. And then I get like 10,000 visitors a month to this site. And whenever I pop my head into the Discord channel of Soulection, which is the radio show for this, I get a whole bunch of little like, oh, Kyle's here. It's like, and I do it out of my own time, on my own dime, and those donations go straight back into the project. I do it because I love the music which is played on this radio show. It's broadcast out on Apple Music, and then a week later it's uploaded to SoundCloud. So yeah, it's something I really enjoy, and because it's a side project, I can stream it. I can show you guys exactly what I'm doing, and I don't have no fears about it because it's open data. I'm trying to make it open data. My previous version might have had some keys in there, so it's a private repository, but I'm trying to work towards making this project open, and it is. This version of it is open. I'm trying to be public about it, so then the community can share new ideas through GitHub and help me out, really. Cheers. So we're going to continue on rebuilding these, and it's been done once before, so I just can copy it. But I was building it in one big spike, that's why it's got this work in progress, but now I'm separating them out into smaller components, and it's definitely making better sense to do that and not have to do a great deal of pre-processing. So I've got to grab, I think that's the tag, so I'm going to bring that up into here. We're using Tailwind CSS, that's why it's all like this. So I don't have to deal too much with CSS. I think we have this if block, I think it is. Oh, that's for the artwork. So we have our artwork on the side, so let's bring that in. Let's save that. Artwork path. It probably will break the world, so I'm just going to disable that piece of content for now. And we have our index. Let's have a see what I can do with that. This might be key +1. So JavaScript, and we need to bring in. I'm liking using this composition API. It has a good feel to it, so I'm going to continue using it. I don't know whether I've got like a processor to make it a bit quicker to set that up without unwrap it. For now, it's fine. Throw things into the setup thing, and as we are passing in our props here, we have our key, track, and track ref. We need to say props here, like as we do before in the options API. So we have track ref, which is going to be a string, a type of string, and default, because if you prefer the defaults like this. We have our Q, which is going to be a type of string, and we convert that into seconds as well. But for now, it's a timestamp, and the default will be like this. And we put that on the end, and we have our key, which is our track number in this case. Type. What type is it? Oh, it's an index, so it's going to be number. And default 0. Now we have access to those in let's clean this up a bit. Props. Like this. Now, well, they're there. We don't need to do much with them. We should have key defined there, so let's give that a try. Let's see, do we have 1, 1, 1? Oh. 1 onwards. Key is reserved attribute. Okay. So we need to track number. We'll pass that through separately, which is here. Track hyphen number equals index for now, because that's the only reference we need to understand from the track numbers. Because if I go back into our all day, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and we go into our next session, which there's multiple DJs on this day, and it goes from 67 to 68, and I did play around with it going to 1 onwards and stuff, and it kind of made sense to, because on most sessions, if it's a 2-hour show and there's like an interview at the end, those last few tracks should be continuations, really, tracks 68, 69 onwards. So I think that's the right flow about that. We also use Tailwind CSS from 2019. You still don't know whether you love it or hate it. So far, I have a great deal of love for it. I've not had to deal with CSS at all on this project, but I think version 2 has a lot of promise. It's a real good set of that, but I do understand that there could be a bit of hindrance that it's taking you too far away from CSS. You might not understand it. I do touch CSS on other projects to keep myself sharp on that, like making grids and stuff. But they're definitely they're owning right now. I think the projects are really, really owning. So let's grab this in, that track number. I want to go in. Have we got it? Yay! That's sick. That's awesome. Continue, and then... Oh, it reset. I didn't want it to reset. I'll figure out how that might work in our benefit, or might not. For now, I understand how it resets. It's because this session is its own unique index, and we're not grabbing the index from above and understanding how many tracks we've gone through. And that's this kind of state which we'll be passing down. And I do have a formula for that, but I don't want to inject something too harsh like that, like a multiplication. I could say on this track list here, how many tracks there are to pass down to its next, so it starts counting from that position. Yeah, let's go for it. Track count equals session tracks length. That'll give us, I think we might need to -1 maybe, and then when we pass that into, we got it here, and we'll do track count plus index. We need to define a prop for that. Session track count. This could be a type of number. Default is going to be 0. Oops. I have a feeling it's going to skip 1, so I might need to reduce that down. It didn't do the thing which I expected it to do. No, that's not gonna work. Because your first track would no, that's not gonna work. and these could be like starting track count, and I need to track count. Need to calculate it from how many times we've seen the session happen. So pass in our session, and we'll set up a const starting track count session, and then have some kind of persistence in a way. Each time we see that, we want to deal with it, and if we've not seen it, then we start from 0. If we have seen it, then we start from the track count from the previous session. Oh, I don't like this. I'm going to leave it as is for now, and I'll figure out a solution to that. But for now, I don't like the idea of that. It just doesn't feel right. I'm going to continue on with getting the rest of that episode track working. So we have our artwork on the side, and we have this whole span like this. And the seek2 doesn't exist. It's split. There's a lot of things going on here, but this technically should work straight out of the box. Or not. It did not. Of course, Q was undefined, because we need to pass it in directly, and session doesn't exist. So yeah, of course. Don't need that. Get rid of that. And this is where it starts getting gnarly, and where it was going down a track of last week of wanna refactor, and we're gonna have to mute that for now. And we will start adding in those, because we need to go and fetch some new data if the data exists. So there's our track times, and the idea is when you click on that, it'll load up the episode from SoundCloud, and then start playing from that point. So then, as you can do it on the live site right now. If we go to, there's no way I can stream it. I'll just mute it. It's jumped straight to that point on SoundCloud, but I want it to keep the person on the site and use this player equivalently like this. So that's how it goes. Oh, gotta go. Awesome, thanks for stopping by. Maybe see you next week. Have a good one. That's just me all alone now. No, I got a couple listeners or viewers. Oh, we've got to continue on. Thanks for the passion. So yeah, we got this, and I'll deal with the seek2, the events later on. I kind of want to get the visual part of this, and it was this whole section which was going down a very terrible hole last week. So I'm gonna try and avoid going down that terrible hole this week. So the thing which we're wanting is, we want to see, hey, from this track reference, we have found the track name and the artist title. But if we don't have the reference and we can't find information, then we have to use a backup. And remember, we have to pass that through. I think I'll just pass in track, which is going to be session tracks index, and that should give us like this, which is the raw data which then I've parsed previously to then make up these get these other files I'm going to link to. So the heaviness of this site is an episode will load up to 60 times 2, so 2n files per episode to get that data. So this is why it needs to be pre-compiled, and hopefully it's quick enough to do that. We're not even tested whether Nuxt is powerful enough to do that, but our front end is going to be Vue.js, or we'll figure out a different route, and hopefully it should be quick enough to do that, and we'll get there. So pass that through. We now have track. It's going to be type of string and default, which will be a null string. And this is where we need to do some fetching. So we'll have we need to use fetch, and I think if you remember we const we have a fetch function which use fetch. It triggers off this async. We may be able to bypass that and use static instead, and that might improve performance. Maybe. Just like as we did with the initial grab of the content. We'll load up slug and put this over here. This use static is the initial load of that content. We need that. So I'll go with the use static for now, and we'll experiment if use fetch it does a better job for that. But the response of it will be track data, track doc, and because static requires a unique key, so we know that it's going to be a track key, and we need some sort of reference to indicate that, and it's going to be a ref to that, and we know that the response of it is going to be constant data dot our weight, and we've got to use the content plugin to go to grab that whole ref. And that reference, as we understand, is going to be this whole artist dot this and all that dot fetch. And that should work for a singular file as is. We have a title to set and potentially. Oh, and we need to fix up that. Ref doesn't work there. We need to go track ref. That gets us that. And then we need to return track doc. Props, because we need to grab from the properties object, and we need to const content with use context, and we need to import use context here. Now trackref is not defined. Trackref is defined. If we are lucky, we'll have track doc here. So we should be able to go track doc.title, and it should appear. It might blow up because of the hot model reloading. No. Ah, there we go. Undefined not what we were expecting. Do we actually have the ref coming through? That's very important. We do. Oh, of course. It's not going to work on this particular episode because this one's missing. I didn't copy across all the data, but this Janet Jackson one does. I know I've got that in the artist Janet Jackson tracks till I get some, but I didn't bring across all the data because there's thousands of files. I didn't want to overstress it while in development mode. So track dark.tile will bring us title, and we should see only Janet Jackson's version, and it doesn't. Okay. That's... It's a pain. It should. Let's see. Console log. Track ref should definitely be there, so I don't understand why it's going into a undefined route. Yeah, we're getting them all through. So hopefully it should go into there. No, it didn't. It's just gone as undefined into there. So this isn't working as expected. So let's go over into the use static, and this is a second property. And of course, it's not going to. The only way how, like, some of this documentation is well, but it would be ideal to have the documentation of what you pass in to these properties. So I need to jump over to GitHub and read the actual specification. We've got the factory, which it will call, the parameter which we pass in, and then the key which it uses, like that. Expecting a ref. That should be fine then. Maybe I have to do some of the work, so const ref equals track t ref, because it's already defined, equals ref, and we need to bring that in. Hope that's not the case of doing it like that, but we'll allow it for now. It hated that, but it got there. Was not found. So if we disable that for a second and const some data to just put out. That ref is working as expected. And this is going to blow up its page a little bit. Yeah, of course. But what I'm looking for is like this. Artists, and it's going in and trying to find that and blowing up. So try. Catch. You don't want it to blow up the page should this not work well. So we'll allow it to try get that data, and if it doesn't find it, it's fine. I probably just could have put a catch on the end of there. I don't. This could be in the Nuxt static JSON. Nuxt static JSON. Oh, of course, it doesn't exist now, but that's going to create all that. And maybe that's not ideal. Maybe I want to change these forward slashes, but it might create a whole bunch of folders, which isn't all too terrible. It's a complaint about being like that. We should have a Janet Jackson title in place. Do I have the Janet Jackson? Content is assigned but never used. Where? You are? Try again. It didn't find that. That's fine, that's okay. If we go artists and replace artists / with nothing, it might give us a bit of a better lookup, maybe. How did I do it last time? I did it crazily last time. Yeah, I created this use summary, which I still have in play, maybe. Or like this, flat. Oh yeah, that's why. I need to, instead of replacing the star, I needed to replace the end of the file, which is the .markdown, with nothing. Make sure it's always the end of the file, and it will find that now. And I can get rid of the try and the catch. And const that, and we'll return that. That's the expected flow. We should see one track name in play, 100%, and no. Come on, give me a break. It's course, limit 1. Let's try console log data. I'm going to put in a whole bunch of like new lines and stars and new lines. To visualize his data, and I've broken it like that. Yeah. There we go. That's something different. Title from undefined. So it's complaining about this. No. So if I then span with this, we've got v if title doc and track doc exists, then we know to render that out or not. And it's failing on a lot of other things. Let's see. Yes! That's exactly what we were trying to get to. We've now got our track reference. We don't need that. We need to do the same for our artist. Const artist doc equals use static. Let's create that. Async ref and copy this. So const is copy data equals wait. We have to do a slightly different change with this, not console, content. We need to create the artist ref. So const artist ref is going to be from the t props track ref, and we've got to replace a certain set of it. I've already got one as it is here. And I think what I'll do is, because I don't need to look up for the markdown file, I can replace, I can do this MD replacement. Actually no, actually yeah, I'll do it before going in. And this needs to be wrapped around in a ref. Now I can pass that through, and this is going to be artists. I'll just pluralize those. Content. I think that gets us through. Oh yeah. I'm going to return data like that, and we want to limit to one document if we find multiples, and we're going to cause a fetch and a catch if there's no document, return null. And again, we'll pass in our artist doc. Why would I pass in the artist doc? It means that when we do find a track and title, we can do like this. Artist doc. So this should be Janet Jackson got till it's gone as a single string line. And in this case, it is not working. But that's okay. I can make a subtle change to this regular expression. Basically, what I'm wanting to grab is everything from the start up until those tracks and delete everything else. So we're just grabbing that. That should yield out that, and artist ref goes into here. It should be clean ref like that. But I got a little trick, is reg x101. We can test that. We've got to grab this track here. This is our text. And we can throw in this regular expression in JavaScript mode. And that's what we wanted to get out. That's exactly what we wanted to get out. But our page has not worked. I don't understand all these. Let's try singular. Those are just the. So close. We are so close, and I think once I've got like this feeling right, we'll call it. We'll call today. So we've probably got about, I guess, another 30 minutes of hacking around with this, or less, just to get it back to the state it was a couple of weeks ago. What I'm doing here is I'm going to actually copy this because it's complaining that it can't find artist stock, and we have issued it through. So console log ref. Don't like all these errors. I want to clear out those. Why is it posting? I got the content. I want it right up the top. We got down to here. Did our first pass and it's gone. It is artist Janet Jackson. Oh, I know why. You want to know why? The artist is in a underscore index empty file, while our reference it doesn't understand this underscore index empty file. I think we don't even deal with it here in a weird way on our previous version. So we need to do our reference, but also plus in index dot like that to try and search for that file. I think I dealt with that a few times before. Yeah. Got two tracks. There we go. See? Yeah, we found it. And then, of course, it's going to try and the front end is going to try and get that data, but we don't have that data on our server, so it's going to come back with a 404, and that's okay with us. That data will exist or will not exist in time to come. But now we need those fallbacks. Remember, we're passing this track data and we want to split it down. So const equals props track, and we've got to split it by that, and it should be artist, and we'll go title. Title is assigned but never used, of course. And we can put in artist string and title string. That's why I'll do that. So as we did here, if we don't find the artist, we can then do the span v else and just render out not the title string, the artist string. And we'll do the same down here, which is going to be the title string. And we introduced a small bug. Let's double space there. And now we've put ourselves back into play. So now all these files, well, they're not files. Some of them are linkable, while the others are not. We want to reintroduce those links. And we can do that with the Nuxt link. So if we do have the artist title, then we'll go to that directory, and it's going to be the doc directory like that, I think. And we'll do the same treatment on this Nuxt link. It's going to go to the track doc directory. Now this should be turned into a hyperlink, which it has. That's almost. It's gone to tracks and stuff. So maybe this has to be path. Yeah. Well, this is a directory. It's an index page, and now you can see down at the bottom that navigates to those pages. Brilliant. And this is not linkable because we don't have that, but we do have it for the track. This is a way to test whether it worked or not, and then we need to fix this track here because we don't have the artist title, so we need to kind of infer it somehow. In case that this doesn't exist, the Erykah Badu artist is deleted for some weird reason, then this page breaks. But theoretically you can link to that. So I'm happy with that. We want to bring back in some styling. So like this, boop, and boop, space that, and we have this over here. Tink, and tink. Paste that and save, and it reformats it for us. I think I'm okay to delete this. And we're looking good. Now back to our artwork. We'll get this done before the 8:30, and close down this, close down this. Our artwork, once it pre-pending with a URI, and this artwork path I think has been duplicated a couple times. Let's have a look. See in episodes. Did we do it? Oh, we just had it hard coded there. Episode slug. The hero. So let's go over to hero. In episode's hero. Artwork header. So let's go over to the artwork header. We're passing that. But we've done our work down here. So we're going to move this logic into a utility. Utility artwork url.js export default artwork URL default function. I kind of want it where we'll pass in the path, and if the paths that kind of starts with, so start with a HTTP, then we just return the path because it's a full folder URL. While if it doesn't contain that, we want to prepend our configured image CDN to that path and then pass that back like that. And now I can refactor this header. So let's quickly do that. Import artwork URL from at utils artwork URL. I probably could do with short work in that. Now I can, I think, get away with being like that. That might actually work. Failed to fetch. How's that? Oh yeah, of course. The artwork URL we're trying to do it computed. So let's handle that computed. Artwork URL, which is this artwork path. Turn that. And that should work. We'll trust that will work. And I'll probably want to compute that too. If we have track doc, because the track doc will contain the artwork, and track doc has artwork, then we can do track doc.artwork, and that's not going art. Give that a try, but we need the else on that. We need to import artwork path from utils artwork path. Oh, artwork URL. Let's correct that, and we're going to return that in our functions, and we need to come back up to the view here, which is like that, artwork URL, and that should work. So we changed that and that's successfully working. We changed this and it's successfully working. That's tried to find it and it doesn't work, and now we've got these ones which are missing because we're not rendering this section. So in order to get around that, we will do a image v else, and we will just do a source equals this.default artist, and we'll grab this. Probably would want to refactor this if else block and this checking, like we pass it just a path and it does that for us into its own component. Looking a lot like that. We'll actually, we might get away with using that actually. So now we're handling those brokens. So the thing which might not get away with it is this width and height, where we define it slightly different. And I might want to define that for what we're using the artwork. It'll be stunned like that. Yeah, we use it on tracklist component formatted, and then on the index. So we're going to bring in these height sizes, or we'll pass in prop size type, which will be a string or undefined. Oh, let's put a string. Default will be small. That'll be number. So we can pass in the size, and we'll define those on here cleverly. And that's a large image, but we will start off with small, and then we can go over to here and then say size is 84, which is the default for now, where we're using that. And on this one, size equals 84. We can pass those in. And going to, because it's using the old API, we'll use a computed options API, and we'll do the class is it's going to be return array of additional classes which we'll pass in. So I want it to loop over those. So const array equals that, and you have min width, min height, width, and we'll put the dashes on them to save us time, and we'll have height. I think also we have max height and width. Max width with dash, and max height with dash. We'll do array. We'll map over them because we'll return this. Each one of those keys, we will join them together. So we have the key, and we will add in the this dot size. Actually, I'm going to remove these back ticks. So then I got this key hyphen size like that, and it's asking me to wrap this like that. So I can do class and then adding classes. If we get rid of all these, this should still, wherever this has been used, I think it's on the home page. Oh, there it's been used. Unexpected, but we did a thing. This track list. Oh, what size we were asking it for? Was it 32? It was a bit different. Yeah, nice. That's beautiful. I love that. So that artwork, we'll bring in that component into our track. And into here, components. Patch that. Now we can replace all this. I'll just delete that off a second. Oh, actually all of this. We've not brought it completely over, but we'll do that in a second. Artwork. It's asking for path, and it's going to be track doc artwork, if it exists. I think we might be able to get away with doing that on here. And we're going to default size, but we'll put in the size, which is going to be 12 here. And in our artwork, we want to add in those if or else. So v if there's artwork URL, if we've passed it through, then we display that. Otherwise, the else, we add in the classes and stuff. And our source is going to be a standard, which is going to be these artists default. Let's allow that to automatically format itself, so we can get rid of that to do. And I can get rid of this. Fingers crossed, guys. Did we break that page? It doesn't like that. And let's go components. It's in the root of the components. That's why it's complaining. We should see one piece of artwork. Yeah, it doesn't like that. Track doc if it exists, otherwise no. Otherwise it'll blow up if we're trying to do dot artwork on null. It tried on that one. Reason why, let's just copy this. Reason why it broke itself. Let's go back a few steps and paste in the correction there. Is we have this on error, which we need to handle. On error, change it to the correct artwork. So it's that, and we do this util. So let's bring that utility in again. Copy. I think it's still good that it's in a util, even though this component is handling it once. And we've already done its work, so we can return artwork URL this dot path. Reason why doing it in the util, it still makes sense, is, well, we're handling the case of, oh, we have a third case then. If it starts with HTTP, then yeah. If it doesn't, then we're going to try and do that, but of course it's going to break. We have a third case. If it's nothing, i.e. path, there's no path, return null, I think. We need to do that first. So we'll patch this into the else if we have no path, return null. If no path, return null. Else if it starts with HTTP, then return path, because it's going to be a full URL. Otherwise, return the path with the prefix of the CDN. Beautiful. I'm super happy with that now. So clear that off. We've done so much today. That's like, compared to last week's episode, that's really helped to get this done. And I just noticed we have this, and I want to do we have it? The last episode's title. We might be able to quickly fix this with the correct artwork. Latest episode artwork. Fingers crossed. It should be artwork 482. Beautiful. Nice little fix there. Go over here, get this artwork. go into this. Of course, there's no tracks for this, so it's not going to load that, and that's a broken link. But go to all track lists and JRock, which I do have some tracks for, and we got the artwork coming through, and we can go to this episode, this file here. And seems I'm on a roll, let's fix that. I want to just do a check of the artists. I think it's the view page. Artwork header. It's fine. Can't be resolved. What are we doing? Components, episodes. Let's see why that artwork. Let's fix that with the components. That'll work. We probably don't even need this anymore. Copy, paste. Let's see. We're passing it in, but we're not using it. So let's get rid of that. Clean it up. Same with track lists. Let's make sure that we got the absolute root for that. It's still complaining. Why are you still complaining? Oh, you want a / dink and dink. Probably should make those global, maybe. Is there anywhere else which it's complaining about? Nope, that's all good. Appears once on that show, and if you go down here, we should have that appearance artwork, and it's not. Did I introduce a new bug? And this is the full path, so that's reference to this track. Everything. Underscore. And so this needs a refactor, this page, and definitely does. So this is the appearances. Oh, we haven't made links. Episodes title, and do we get the episodes? Yeah, we do. So we theoretically could Nuxt link and set the to the episode path. I might fix that while we're here. Yeah. Invalid prop failed. Prop size, expected number value got string with 12. So size equals. Yeah, all these places this needs to be a dot number like that, or we pass it in as a actual how you do it in view. My bad. I'll get rid of that error. We are almost done. I'm going to start wrapping this commit up. So that first error at the top then, which we've seen. Trying to get that 404. It should have just like kind of. Oh, MX. Oh, yeah, I think I got that as deliberate here as a 404 to test the failover. It's a deliberate mistake. Deliberately. Cool. So let's go through our here. So we started. I can mark this as done. lasted 2 hours 19 minutes. I feel like it's done. We've brought this back to life. I don't think it's done, but it's close enough done. There's the add-on session artwork and session content. And then we put those on. Surprising. There's loads more than this. It's just things that are put off the head to my head. Ooh, am I gutsy? I have a feeling. Shall we stick on just for one more 10 more minutes? I want to quickly hero track list. We go over to our track list on our session. We have this artwork here, and we brought in that artwork component. Then we just do this, like path with session artwork if we do have it. So we'll render it if we have it. We don't render it if we don't have it. Oh hey, how's it going, Bob Ross at RTX? Thanks for joining. I was just about to wrap up for the day. We're just finishing off. Also, nice to hear from you. This change should appear on this show. There we are. We have our artwork. It's not in the best state, but let's make it size and make it 32 pixels size. You can't find your USB stick. Well, there you go. What are you trying to find? What's on the USB stick? I might put it on the side. I don't know. On our full one, it's just like that. It's okay. You got your USB. Oh, so you bring your from your work computer, I kind of guess. You bring your site on USB. Yeah. No. Oh, you got. Oh, I don't know then. Like so. Oh, so it's like an old backup of a site. Got a main website on it. Okay. I assume it's not on GitHub then. You've not committed it. So it defeats the whole point. Okay. It happens to the best of us. Alright. So we're going to go over what we did today. We dealt with the artwork. We've added in back into the track lists. We've let's go over to this show here. We've got these tracks links working. And we added in backtracks to here, the artist link working, and also the artist page doesn't exist at the moment. This is a deliberate broken image and broken title because Erykah Badu file doesn't exist, and we're battle testing certain areas. And these are files which don't exist, so they're not linkable, which is fine. But we're slowly getting there. We wanted to click on this and start playing at that point, and I think I did have it working almost, but it's not reliable, and I want to make that reliable. But that's going to be for next week's stream. And go over the commits. I'm going to go over the commits. We improved the artwork view with this util, so we have to bring in the artwork component, and with the utils. Where are the utils? Am I blind? There it is, down the bottom. Oop. So this goes in. If there's no path, do nothing. If there's path starting with HTTP, then return the full path. If not, we want to prefix it with this. That's great logic. And then we have this if block for if we do have an image, and if it fails, then we return the defaults. If there's no artwork, then we return the default by that. And we might add in a parameter to give a default, but for now it's okay. Artwork header. Of course, we refactored that. And I'm going to go into the artwork header because we can use artwork here. We pass in this artwork path instead of this, it might still work. Where is this being used? This is using artwork header. So this is going to be all of this artwork header and everything. Oh yeah, it's complaining about that. Fix that. We go over to our artwork page. So the show. Ha! Little ditty one. We want to set the size to 84. That should make us a big one. Big. Nice. And then we want to add in some custom class, which I think is the right hand side, and the padding for it, like that. So now this piece of artwork has those functional failovers to make sure that if the artwork file doesn't exist, it's going to jump down to other logic. Brilliant. I'm really chuffed with that. So we can get rid of that. Duplicated logic. Get rid of that too. And come back over to our commit. Artwork header improved. Now we did a lot of work with our episode slug, so added in the track list there. So we're going to bring in the track list wrapper for that, which is the full block section, this black section here. This is our track list, episode track list. And the episode track list imports a session. So this here is a session. And then there could be multiple sessions. So each one of those is a component. Nicely done. We tried to do some work with that, but we couldn't really get it working. So we stubbed it out for now. I'm going to put in a to do fix me. Which is going to be to do fix session content with markdown parser. It's in place to do. But it's okay, we stubbed it out for now. We've got some code logic there which worked a little bit. We'll come back to that on another episode. And then the session brings in each track which is played in the episode with the reference, the track and foot failovers, where a good amount of logic happens. We grab those pieces of data from the store and render them down. So happy with that. Do I need this file anymore? This is dead, I think. Let's delete it. Move to trash. We refactored some of the artwork, so we can. I'm happy with that for now. And it's got the episode description. We don't need the summary, on stage that. I'll do that as a separate commit. Don't need to worry about those. Use episode. Yes. I think use episode is used. No, we don't use that. We'll move to trash. We did a fix here where we fixed the hyperlink back to the episode, which it showed. We might put in the artwork, but we'll deal with that another time. And that's just some formatting improvements. I won't commit that yet. Those are the improvements for the SoundCloud. We'll deal with that another time. And we don't need. Oh, we can stage those. We want those fixed, and I don't want to worry about these. These are just like placeholders for me. And I think this is good. Go for the recycle logo, which is refactored episode show page. I'm really confident with this. I might put it into master branch maybe, but I might need to do a diff. Let's see how big is the diff if we go over to project V4. If I go onto this, I should be able to. I need to go onto this branch and compare it to main branch, and there's nothing. Oh, I've not pushed it. We push that branch now, which should make sense. But yeah, we're wrapping up now, and after this, I'm gonna play some video games. Tonight's gaming is Insurgency Sandstorm, and I don't stream gameplay. I've not got my streaming PC set up to do that just yet. But I might do it sometime in the future when I get good. Because I don't know whether my gameplay is entertaining or not. This is just me trying to work. You found a browser VM. Yeah. So you can virtualize them with Browser Stack, or I used to use IE CTRL to do that, but I think it's died. I think it changed to IE Vims, but I've not used it for a long time because Microsoft does it natively. And you got Browser Stack and stuff. What we were doing, we were just checking over our commits here and seeing if there's. We might be able to do measure. Oh, it's quite a big one. It's 23 files changed. There's a lot of additions and a lot of deletions. So I'm not going to go through that today. I think the big chunk of it will be, the package.json here, or some testing files. And I don't want to bore the rest of the stream with that. I'll merge that in tomorrow. I'll work on it daytime. Cool. Well, thanks for hanging out. It's such a pleasure to have you pop on in, say hi. I'm glad that you're still working on your project and learning. Of course, these streams are available on YouTube and Twitch. I think Twitch has a 30-day retention, so you can come back to them. I don't really do highlights just yet. I've not found the interesting points but I just make myself accountable and hang out. But I will be here again next week, UK time 6 o'clock Wednesdays. Those are the times when I stream here on Twitch. Just make myself accountable for getting this project done. So yeah, we will continue our very important work as always, and try and get to that goal of getting this project completed by then. Oh, is it localhost again? Not localhost for 3000. Yeah. So thanks again, Bob RTX. It's great for you to pop them by. Thanks for the follow. The Domo. Also, thanks for the follow drawn a week for Dispelate. Thanks for checking out that. And all 12 followers on Twitch. Amazing for you guys checking on in. It really makes a big difference. Like getting that chat filled up and sharing some conversation. Hopefully, you guys learn things as I'm working on this project. And so feel free to ask me questions throughout them. I try and help out. As always, you can look at the top. There's my Twitter handle and GitHub handle. Do like at me, send me a message, ping me if you have any questions or anything like that. So you know where to find me right at the top. So thanks again for following, for watching today. I'm going to see who we can raid. If there's any of the followers on my Twitch channel, which might be useful to send you over to. You watch a lot of music on Twitch, and I think there's one guy who might be useful. Let's have a look. Oh, Sarata. Yeah, let's send you over to Soulection Takeover. Sarata, that's cool because that's the crew which I'm helping out. So let's go. I've not done this before. I've not done the raid thing, but I think it's a big thing. Let's raid Serato. So, thanks as always for watching. I'll see you again next week.